Welcome to day 2 of the Manifestation Challenge here in the Selfish Society. So today I'm going to share actually what I consider to be the most important step when you are manifesting. All right, so I'm going to quickly recap what we learned yesterday and what I talked to you a little bit about, which was you have to make sure that that idea that you have, that thing that you want, that you get really clear on it, that you know you're specific, you have a buy-when date, you know how much you want of it. Get really specific because the universe wants to make sure it gives you what you want. But if you're vague, it's going to give you something vague, and then you're going to have to, you know, fine tune and refine, which is totally fine. But anyways, that was step 1. The second step is, in order to become a badass manifestarian, you have to build a relationship with the universe. And we both know that relationships are built on a couple of very important things. One of them is trust. You know, the other one that I believe is really important is a good relationship, in my point of view, is a relationship that that has a lot of connection to it and intimacy. Okay, so in order to build intimacy and in your relationship with the universe, you have to be honest. And you have to be okay being vulnerable. So that's why yesterday, my second step for you was to really get honest with yourself. Write down all the reasons, the hidden reasons that you are afraid of actually going for that goal or reaching that goal or even stating what you want. And I gave you the example. So for example, if one of your goals is to have new clients, manifest 5 new clients, for example, you could be unaware that you have negative beliefs about that and that you have negative fears about that, right? So your fears could be like, oh, well, if I'm going to get 5 new clients, am I going to be able to handle having more clients? I already have so much on my plate. Am I going to have to do sales calls? I hate doing sales. Am I going to have to change my offers? I don't even think I have the right offer. So those are all negative beliefs that you need to get clear about, that, you know, they're all under the rug. You get clear about those and you declare them. It's kind of like, look, this is how I feel and I'm afraid of this. But remember, it's because you're building that relationship with the universe. And in order to have an awesome relationship with anyone, you have to have trust, you have to have honesty, and you have to have a level of vulnerability. All right. So those were the first 2 steps that I talked about yesterday. So after you have your goal and, you know, you feel super connected to the universe and you're ready to do this thing called the law of attraction because you see other people doing it. So you're excited, you're ready to go, you're in the challenge. Now, it's really, really, really easy to get excited once we get clear about something, right? But the problem is that it is not creating the goal or even the plan, which is your next step, really. It's really the waiting time between the time that you set that goal and you manifest that, and that goal actually manifests, right? It's that waiting time that where most people mess up and give up and get discouraged and all of that stuff. So I'm going to tell you the secret to this, okay? It's super, super, super important. During that period of waiting, when it's so easy to get discouraged, because let's be honest, it's so hard. I know you've probably heard, oh, you need to have mantras, you need to have affirmations, you need to be positive, blah, blah, blah. Except it's not easy to be positive when you know what you want is really not here yet, right? So it's impossible to stay positive all the time. So the first thing I want you to know is that I don't need you to stay positive all the time. The universe doesn't need you to stay positive all the time. You are in the densest part of the universe. Being human is tough, you know? And so it's not realistic to ask someone to stay positive all the time. But what I am going to recommend that you do is to prepare yourself for the time of waiting, okay? Because there is going to be a period, and that's the period where the universe wants to see, I wonder if we really are, if we're tight. I wonder if she really trusts me. I wonder if she's going to be honest with me. I wonder if she's going to keep me accountable. Okay, so that's how the universe is thinking. All right. So this is the really, really important time for you to, after you create your plan, which is obvious, and this is not really about goal setting, which we can do a goal setting challenge at another time, but you need to create a plan on how you plan to, what you need, what you're going to do spiritually, vibrationally during the time between the time you ask and the time that you actually receive. All right. So I'm going to tell you a quick story that, well, I don't know how quick it's going to be, but I think it's important for you to know it because it's something that happened to me. When I told you I had an operation, and I asked my doctor for 6 months before I had to go under the knife or whatever, before I had to have my operation. And the reason I asked for that time was because I had gotten into a ton of debt. I was really, I didn't feel emotionally ready and prepared. My brain tumor was actually benign. So, but it was pushing on all kinds of things. So, but it was still within the safe time for me to get it, right? So I asked for 6 months. He said yes. And I prepared my goal and what I was going to ask. And so the first thing that I wanted to ask for was health, obviously. But just coming out on the other end healthy wasn't just enough for me because my probabilities of it being a success were pretty high, even though they're scary as hell. But I also needed that time to prepare myself so that I can get my family out of debt. My our second son, he was about to start private school. So I needed, like, we had so many obligations. So I needed to really make it happen in my business. And I had just launched my business, and I really needed to make it happen, pay back the debt. And then the last thing that I asked for that I really wanted was because of the brain tumor, I had lost my hearing almost completely on the left side of my ear, and I had this horrible ringing noise. It's called tinnitus. If you're living with tinnitus, hang in there. There's so many different meditations and things that you can do to help yourself, but I totally relate with how hard and horrible it is to have that. So when I was preparing to ask what I wanted, I said I knew that in order for me to get it, I had to be excited about it. And the only thing that would make me excited is to have those 3 things completely done. And I know that might be I don't know if that's childish or bratty. I don't know, but I wanted everything, the operation to be a success. I wanted to manifest the money that I needed to pay off all my debt before I went into surgery. And I also wanted to, I wanted to get my hearing back. And so that was a really bold thing for me to ask, because that was almost me asking for a miracle. So if you know anything about the hearing nerve, when you have hearing loss, it's almost always permanent. And so the doctor told me, he's like, listen, you almost have no hearing left. The hearing nerve never regenerates. So, and it's going to go through trauma when we operate. So you'll probably lose the rest of your hearing. That did not make me excited. And so I decided to not listen to it. And I asked anyways. Okay. So it was a big, bold ask. All right. So I had 6 months. So if you knew right now that what you asked for is going to take 6 months, you have to mentally prepare. So that's when I created an entire game plan of what I was going to do every single day for those 6 months. And that's what I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about a piece of that today. All right. So what's important about the law of attraction is that you attract to you who you are or what you think, especially your thoughts, right? So ideally, the way this works is that if you are to attract what you want, you have to stay in a high vibrational excited level all the time. All right. So this is one thing I always tell my clients: you have to live now as if what you want is already a reality. As hard as that sounds, or as tricky as that sounds, and it even feels fake, because remember, we're in the densest part of the universe where everything that you are doing on a daily basis during that period, that limbo period, is telling you that what you have doesn't actually exist yet, right? So you kind of have to trick yourself, your brain, and some people say, oh, you have to fake it till you make it. It's kind of like that, but not really. It's like you have to be it until you actually really become it, if that makes any sense. So So it's really, really, really important that during that time you create there's things that you can do. This is magic. Like, there's things that you can do during that period time to actually create anchors to anchor you at the level of excitement, and which is the vibration that you need to be in order for the universe to send you what you want. All right. So you have to solidify different things in your life and pretend like it's already happening. So here's a couple of things that I did, and I don't want to make this video super long, and almost kind of there, but I think this is super important. So a couple of things that I did to create those anchors and solidify that this was already a reality. For example, I bought a new folder, and this folder had 12 slots. So I said, every client that I get, is gonna take one slot, and I'm gonna get 12 clients, 12 high-end clients, and each one of these is gonna get filled. And I got super excited about doing that. All right. So the other thing that I did is I started programming my phone with all these new notifications. Now, I totally believe in affirmations, but I believe in affirmations from a different level that most people teach. So, and it's kind of deep. So I teach that in the Selfish Path to Abundance deeply. But then, I had these affirmations that I went through this process to create, and I programmed them on my phone as notifications. So randomly, I would get notifications telling me, hey, congratulations on getting your hearing back. That's so exciting. Hey, congratulations. Those clients that you so want, they are here, and I'm so excited for you. So, randomly, I was at the movie theater, and all of a sudden I completely would forget that I created these notifications, but then I would see it and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So see, little things like that raise your vibration and bring you back from the reality, the dense reality that we live in, to where you need to be. Okay. So I created a whole bunch of things like that. Another thing that I never did is I never spoke about negatively about my operation. Anybody that I needed to give that information to, I always said to them, I said, yeah, I'm going to go through this operation. Oh, it's going to be fine. Oh, it's going to be fine. Oh, don't worry. I would change, because people would get so shocked that, oh my God, you're going to have a brain tumor removed. I'm so sorry. I feel terrible. That's horrible. And I knew that energy transfer. So I didn't want to take that in. So I would just stop it. In fact, I went a little overboard, because I didn't really tell my family the severity. They all thought I had some sort of cyst, and this thing was the size of bigger than a golf ball. So, fast forward to the day of the operation. My family's there, and after the operation, they're like, oh my God, you never told us how bad this was. Why didn't you ask us to go to the doctor with you? It wasn't that I was trying to keep them away from it. It was that I was trying to keep myself at a level that I could not compromise, because to me, what I wanted, it was non-negotiable. Like, me getting my hearing back was not something that I wasn't 100% certain that I wanted. So I knew that I was going to, everything I had learned about metaphysics, I was going to implement right here, right now. And so I was going to cross all my T's and dot all my I's. So I never spoke negatively. Our words are so powerful. Our words are magic. Whatever comes out of your mouth is going to manifest. So if you say you want something, but then you're talking negatively about it, then you're basically starting over. Your energy's going down, down, down. Okay. So I did that. So I did a whole bunch of stuff like that. And like I said, I go very deeply into it within the Selfish Path to Abundance, but those are some of the things that you can also do. And I know that if you do this, and if you keep yourself in that high vibe, by creating all these little different anchors that keep you there, you're going to get what you want unless you give up. Okay, so this challenge is about you not having the opportunity to give up at all. All right, so that's all I have for you today. I would love to hear what kind of anchors you're going to create in order to actually solidify what you want to create in your life, what you want to manifest. All right, so there's a lot more where that came from, what I just told you, and tomorrow I'm going to share another super sexy trick with you. All right. So go ahead and comment below and let me know, what is it that you're going to do? What anchors are you going to create in your life right now so that these things can just pop up in your life all over the place? Get creative. There's so many things that you can do to show the universe that you are acting as if what you want is already a reality, okay? So I'm super excited for you, and I will see you tomorrow again on day 3 of our manifestation challenge here in the Selfish Society. All right, peace out.